to the 264th meeting of MicTesting Advanced Toastmasters Club. Can we just have a huge round of applause for ourselves? Okay. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and a positive learning environment in which speakers or members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills that can result in greater self-confidence and personal growth. There are basically 3 ground rules for any Toastmasters meeting, and that applies for our club as well, even though today's meeting has been in a virtual format. Number 1, please ensure to keep your mobile phone or any other electronic devices or any handheld devices in silent or in switched off mode. Number 2, please do not interrupt while a speaker is speaking. So kindly unmute yourself when any other role taker or speaker is speaking, and put yourself on unmute only when you are speaking. And make sure to be attentive throughout the meeting. And number 3, please support the speakers with your warm smiles and claps and encourage them to do well. With that said, the theme for today's meeting is anybody can cook. Okay. Let me ask, who all can cook in this group?
I can.
Okay. So I see 50% split. I think there are more people coming in. People who are married are, of course, pro in cooking, and people who are advertising them as potential bridegrooms in all platforms are also very good cooks. And you have to be. In this world, it's not that only women have to cook. All of us have to cook. It's a joint responsibility in today's world. And we would like to hear more insights, more stories from our very own potential #bridegroom who would like to advertise his cooking skills, starting with a pilot in today's Toastmasters meeting, and will extrapolate that his advertisements, his promotions, his campaigns into other print, electronic, other medium as well, depending upon what responses he gets. And I'm sure the beautiful faces are going to, of course, relate that there is a potential bridegroom in the Advanced Toastmasters Club, and others are also going to come and join to listen to our very own Deepak Pinjani, the presiding officer for today's meeting, the very own president of our club. Welcome, Deepak Pinjani. Over to you.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'll start my presiding officer address with this statement. Growth does not come free of cost. It comes with responsibility and sacrifice. For example, when I decided to grow my hair, it came with responsibilities of, taking care of it, washing it regularly, making sure it's not washed via hard water, using different kind of oils. How many of you use nothing other than coconut oil on your hair? Oh, I'm surprised. So there is this trick as well. If you apply a little bit of olive oil, which I know is expensive, but a little bit of it before you sleep on your head, it really takes away a lot of the dandruff and issues with your hair. Okay, so what I was trying to convey is growth comes with responsibility and sacrifice. So we got the responsibility part. The sacrifice part is, do you know why shampoo companies make it so that you have to close your eyes when you apply shampoo?
Beats me.
No?
It has harmful chemicals which can enter into your eyes and damage your.
I'm not speaking logic here. I'm speaking sarcasm.
Wow, how much of a hair will go after
Yes,
washing?
you cannot see how much hair goes out of your body when you apply shampoo. Okay, growth comes with sacrifice and responsibility, and that was my short take. And I would like to appreciate every single one of you because you took this step to attend this meeting for growth. This gives you a responsibility to attend in future meetings and take roles and membership as well, and also gives you sacrifice. You are sacrificing your time, and I would say rather than sacrifice, if you are utilizing it, it becomes a investment. So you are investing your time in your personal and professional growth. Let's have a huge round of applause for all of you. We do have a guest, Pragya. If you would like to unmute and quickly tell us how did you find out about this meeting, and quick introduction of yourself and what you are looking forward to in the meeting.
Hello everybody, good morning. I am Pragya Kaushik. Currently I am working in ISRO as a scientist. Since a long time I wanted to join Toastmaster. So currently I am looking for a club that will suit me. So I have connected to Richa ma'am to know about this particular group. And today's topic was also interesting, so that's why I wanted to join this meeting.
Thank you. Let's have a huge
you.
round of applause for our guests. Now, I would like to quickly, without taking much time, introduce the Toastmaster of the day. He is a semi-geek or pseudo-geek. He is someone who doesn't stick to one hobby. He just keeps hopping between hobbies. But the few hobbies that have stayed are cooking and Toastmasters. He is someone who is awkward in social conversations, who is not an extrovert per se, who is not an outgoing person who loves to travel, but still is a Toastmaster. So defying all the cliches, it's none other than myself, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Deepak. And I'll share my screen real quick and we'll start up. Now, how many of you can tell me what is the theme of the day? Anyone can?
ABCC.
Okay, what is the full form of
Anybody can cook.
Anybody can cook. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anyone else?
Yeah, anybody can cry.
Okay.
Anybody can get confused.
It's anybody can cook. Okay. It's a take on the famous movie, Anybody Can Dance, Anybody Can Cook. So we'll go through just quickly, I'll explain the agenda of the meeting. We have prepared speeches and evaluations, which we'll start with, where a speaker prepares for a speech as per their project objectives with their own speech title and material, and they deliver it. Then we have evaluation. So generally, we have a dedicated evaluator in all the clubs. However, our club is special due to certain things that we do different. First thing is a speech is directly followed upon by the evaluation of the speech. We have open evaluation and rebuttal, wherein members from the audience can evaluate quickly within 1 minute the speech of the speaker, give them feedback on that. And then there is a rebuttal from speaker on all the points, which point they agree on, which points of improvement they do not agree on. Then we have announcements and table topics, where we have a special short announcement. Then we have table topics. In our club, table topics are also along with table topics evaluator, which is different from other clubs. So the table topics master comes in, gives a topic impromptu on any thing which is generic to you, and you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, you will be shown green, yellow, and red cards. Who is the timer? Pawan, can you take up the timer role? If possible. You're on mute.
Sure, Deepak. Just give me 2 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah.
So our Toastmaster Pawan will be the timer. He'll be showing you green, yellow, and red. Red means you have 30 seconds to stop your speech. All right. And then there will be table topics evaluator, which will be picked by table topics master as well. Each speaker will have an evaluator. And then we'll have linguist report and closure. Now coming to theme of the day, I'll like to introduce this basic concept. Okay, cooking is all about balance, just like life, right? So if you have a perfect balance between different spices, ingredients, and nutrients in your dish, there's nothing better than that. And these are the basic flavors. So you have salty, you have sweet, you have sour, you have bitter, you have spice, and these flavors interact with each other. So spice and sweet balance each other out. Similarly, bitterness and saltiness balance each other out. Similarly, if something is bitter and you add some sourness to it, it balances the bitterness out, and so on. Can someone tell me what is some ingredient that tastes sour? Any ingredient?
Lemon, any citrus.
Question again?
Lemon. Any ingredient that tastes sour, that brings sourness.
Amchur powder.
Tomato, lemon,
A tomato, lemon, perfect.
unripe mango,
Awesome. Anyone else? Okay. Then you have vinegar as well, right? Vinegar tastes sour as well. Similarly, spicy, you will have different spices, coriander seeds, you will have red chili, green chili, and so on that taste spicy. Then you have salty, salt, okay, or MSG. You have to just balance all these with each other. And I'll just quickly show you some beautiful recipes which I tried. One is stuffed tomato. Okay, so this is a really simple recipe, a bit of a quick recipe that can impress anyone. Okay. So you hollow 4 or 5 tomatoes. That's where the most of the hard work is. How you hollow a tomato. You can quickly watch a YouTube video as well. You just cut the top and you use your knife to hollow the insides out. Okay. You marinate this hollowed tomato with oil, salt, a bit of a red chili powder and kasuri methi. Then you make a stuffing. So you take a pan, put some oil, let it simmer, and put all these, add in all these ingredients one after another, and you will have a stuffing for this. Now, what do you do with the stuffing?
You stuff it inside the tomato?
Obviously, I don't know why everyone was so silent and dumbfounded, but it's a stuffing. So you stuff it inside the tomato. Perfect. Now we don't waste anything. When you hollowed the tomatoes, the tomato seeds and insides came out, right? Don't throw that. That goes into your gravy. So this is the recipe for the gravy. You take a pan or kadai, you add oil, you add these ingredients one after another, and you add the tomato puree, right? What it mentions, 1 tomato and rest of the tomato insides you can grind and put it, add it into this recipe. And any idea how this will look?
Yes, I have an idea.
Okay, because you follow me on Insta. This is how it looks. So the look is really as if it's a gourmet dish, but it is not. It's all simple ingredients which you can find in your kitchen, right? Next, I'll quickly go through the next recipe, gram flour square curry. It's nothing but besan curry. Okay. So you make squares. So this you can do when you don't have paneer, okay, or you don't have the protein for your dish. You make the protein using besan. So you add curd, beat the curd up, and add some masalas into it as mentioned here. Then you add the besan and salt and oil, and this becomes the batter for your squares. And what do you do with it? What do you do with idlis once you have a idli batter?
You cook it slowly
Okay.
and you make
In
it.
what way? Do you fry
Steam it.
it? Do you boil it?
Steam
Do you
it.
cook
You steam
Steam
it.
it. Correct. So you need a steamer for that, and you need to just steam this mixture in any mold. Any mold is fine. If you have a flat mold, that's perfect. If you don't have a flat mold, you can put it into a idli mold and just cut it later. Shape will not be of a square, but it will taste the same. Okay.
We call it pitor in Rajasthan, by the way.
Yes. And then you have a curd mixture. So there are two mixtures. First mixture for the pieces. Second mixture is for the gravy. So all you do is take a big bowl, add all these ingredients up and mix them thoroughly. Okay. Now for the gravy, you just put some oil. For tadka, you add some, methi seeds or cumin seeds, which is jeera, soft fennel seeds. And you add in some of these ingredients. Now, one important point, whenever you are adding curd into your dish while it is cooking, any idea what you should be doing?
We fry it.
Uh-huh.
We fry it with all the masala and everything.
Yes, but there is one important step.
You pour in
Turn off
the
the stove.
steamed squares into the.
Yeah, that's fine. You lower the temperature before you add in the curd. Okay. Otherwise, your curd will go all around the gravy. It will break down and it will taste real bad. So that's the difference between a really good dish and a really bad dish. That one mistake can make it into a blunder, which is okay to have a blunder. You are learning, but I'm here to ensure your learnings are faster. So just lower the gas before you add in the curd mixture, and rest all is fine. You add some water, you let it boil for some time and add in the pieces. Okay. Now with this done, I will just stop sharing my screen. I'll stop boring all of you and lecturing all of you with my recipes or the recipes that I stole from the internet, however you want to call it. And I'll go towards the prepared speeches. So our first prepared speaker of the day, before I introduce him, let me introduce the first evaluator of the day. He is a current area director. I see him in almost all the division conferences that I went into. He is someone who is really silent, but also really knowledgeable. So it's always important to make him talk. It's none other than Toastmaster Veera. Can I call him up to read the evaluation objectives?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Deepak. I think you are the first person who has called me silent, but cool, I'll take it. Thank you. But yes, so today our speaker is going to be attempting a super interesting project. Every single one of us love listening to stories. And so today our speaker will be attempting a project where he'll be trying to connect with the audience via storytelling. So the entire speech could be a story, or the speech might contain a couple of stories in it. So I'm super excited and I wish all the very best to the speaker. I'll be back immediately after the speech, delivering the evaluation. All the very best. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
All right. Let's introduce the speaker of the day. He is someone who is really awesome at comedy. His punchlines have such a power that they make me laugh day and night. He is someone who is really knowledgeable and shares his life experiences in general, whether he's a speaker or in conversations. He is someone who gave us a lift a lot of times, especially to me, while I wanted to go to various places. So due to him, I am able to be vehicle-less and reduce my expenses. He is none other than Toastmaster Abhi, GST, Toastmaster Abhi.
Thank you. Pavan, you would be showing the card, or how would you time it? Thank you. I stay in a society which is lake facing. Imagine the perks of staying in a lake facing society in an apartment. I enjoy the cool breeze, the rainfall, and a walk to the lake. But 6 months back, something strange happened, which is going to be deeply entrenched in my mind. A famous builder of Bangalore encroached upon a government land and started building a society just right next to the lake. As per the government regulation, no builder is allowed to build a society such close to the lake, which is just 50 meters from the lake. But we were surprised to see such a move by a builder. I am part of eastern side of Bangalore and part of citizens movement group. However, in spite of repeated voices, repeated concerns, raising this with the authorities, with the panchayat, with the corporator and with the MLA, things didn't work out. There was one instance wherein the builder's fence was kind of bulldozed, but exactly after a month, the builder came back again, raising a higher fence than the earlier one, and gave us a warning that come next to us and try to do this thing to us, you will see who we are and we will show what our power is. And like any other citizen, we were helpless and had no choice but to sit in silence and misery. Such a beautiful lake is going to go into a state of complete mess in few years' time is a foregone conclusion all of us could envisage. Now, if we understand the root thing, who approved this entire project? Who gave so much of power to the builder to build an illegal construction? It's our very own governance body. It's our very own people who we elect. And we elect people to work for us. Unfortunately, the situation that we are in is in dire straits. We elect people, but we stay in misery and silence. Today, all of us might be rejoicing that, hey, who is winning the elections? Who is going to win? I would say GST. God save them. How many of you have faced similar situations in the vicinity that you stay in? I'm sure majority of you are. Be it the condition which I faced, or be it the flooding of the roads that I take to reach the main road of Shajapur, or be it the pathetic road which I take to reach a shortcut into Electronic City. The problems I have with the public and the social infrastructure is countless. And days will pass if I start listing them out. You know, government before any elections or any party before elections try to make campaign. In my view, this campaign is nothing but think of it as a marketing campaign that you learn in corporate world. Price, promo, discount. What do these people promise in their manifestos? Free rice, 2,000 rupees per month to unemployed youth, 500 rupees per month to women in the family, and free bus rides to women in BMTC buses to reach their offices. These are all populist measures. And do you think these are all sustainable and can help us see that light of the day when Bangalore is going to be a great city, which it was earlier? It's touted to be the Silicon Valley of the country, but it is going to be in a state of doom. What we are seeing right now, or I would say let's not rejoice today, is mere lip service. And these promises are going to die down very, very soon. Let me tell you another interesting incident. 2 weeks back, I went with my family to have ice cream in an ice cream joint. We ordered just 2 ice creams. The total bill when I saw was staggering, 450 rupees. And when I saw the bill, I saw something, 100 rupees of tax, CGST 18%, SGST 18%. For the unintended, GST is goods and services tax, CGST goes directly to the center, and SGST directly goes to the state. I ordered medicines for my son a week back from a local pharmacy, and the GST was 12%. Now imagine the kind of tax we are paying. It pains me so much to say that even to step out of my house and breathe fresh air in the park, I have to pay tax. To buy anything for that matter, I have to pay humongous amount of tax. 28% GST is the tax I have to pay to buy an air conditioner or a refrigerator or a washing machine. And these are what have been termed by government as luxury items. If these are termed as luxury items, imagine the kind of world we are staying in. GST, of course, was a great milestone in our overall tax framework. It kind of decomplicated a lot of complicated tax framework which we had earlier before 2017, be it VAT, excise, sales tax, and a lot of complications. And it is good in some way. But for a common man like me, what am I getting? Am I getting the privileges? Am I getting the perks? Am I getting the benefits that I should reap? Absolutely not. So it pains me again to see that as a common man, I have to sit and reside with a lot of pain and misery and silence. The very people who we elect for decision making, for governance, are not taking our feedback, not taking our opinions to build something. In my view, we are staying in a state of complete policy paralysis. Dear Toastmasters and guests, at this stage, I would say, get, set, and try. Try to reflect, try to ponder as to what can change. Even if we make communities, even if we criticize the government, even if we try to make something on social media, we get rebuked. We are trialed in public. A court case is filed against us. And this is how we're going to stay in this world, in this society. Absolutely not. So in today's very, very promising times, where India is supposed to be the fastest growth runner in the entire country, for common men, I ask you, what do you think that can change? What do you think you can do to get, set, and try? Thank you.
Okay, with that thought-provoking speech, let me just make a quick announcement. There is a background I have shared on chat. If you can download and change your background to it, then when we get to the announcement part, you will get to be in harmony with everyone else when we take a screenshot. I'll just take a few minutes, 1 minute I'll give to everyone. You can just download it and change your virtual background.
Deepak, I can't because I connected through mobile.
Yeah, that's fine, if possible. Awesome. So now we'll move on to the second speaker. Before I introduce the second speaker, let me call upon the evaluator for the second speaker. He is our guiding torchlight. He's our mentor for all of us. He's someone who is so humble, calm to talk to, and he makes our heart so warm when we interact with him. None other than distinguished Toastmaster Bhupati.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry for not coming on screen. Thanks for that wonderful introduction, Toastmaster Deepak Pinjani. Today, I'm going to introduce the objectives of the speaker. The speaker is going to attempt a speech in L1, persuasive influence. So this is one interesting project where the member will be delivering for a 5 to 7 minute speech. We will try to understand the leadership style of self, and the objectives goes like this. The member will deliver a well-organized speech about some aspect of leadership styles. The member may choose to speak about his or her own leadership styles in general and some specific aspects of that and their impact. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The speech should not be a report of the content of the Understanding Leadership Styles project. This is for members. The member can choose to speak for 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepak Pinjan.
Thank you. One thing I missed is the evaluation for the first speaker. Apologies for that. Let me call upon Toastmaster Veera to evaluate the first speaker.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Deepak. Toastmaster Abhi, first of all, congratulations for completing your project where you delivered a story and you ensured that you are connecting with the audience, taking up a relevant topic which all of us can relate with. So great job on that. So now the fantastic thing which I absolutely loved in your speech. Number one, you had a very intriguing title. Right away, when we heard GST, yes, of course, our mind went to our usual GST that we know, but you did have a different expansion to it. You called out God save them, and you still connected it with the actual GST and you put forward your points. So brilliant job. And number two, I really loved the way you use your vocabulary. You had envisage, mere lip service, ponder, all these are really well used within the speech, which really shows you that you are a very brilliant speech writer. Your writing skills are on point. And even the sentences that you had when you were comparing and contrasting things, all those were very well put. So fantastic job. And number three, the picturization that we had during the beginning. So when you said, imagine you being in a lake house, lake view building, and how the things are going to be, the cool breeze and everything. So you really added that enunciation to make sure that we are also able to understand where you are portraying and picturizing us. So great there. And number four, you had very good hand gestures, and your hand gestures were in control. Sometimes what we tend to do is when we are talking about something which is very close to our heart, we tend to overuse our hands and something, but that did not happen today. You had very good control over your hands. You were also using your fingers to point out 1, 2, 3, what all the things that you feel went right, did not go well. So those were really good. And you also had a very good command over your voice when you were asking questions. So there was a portion when you were asking about, like, is this what we were expecting? Is this the reason why we voted for them? The question, what we were able to understand, yes, you are furious and your emotion was getting conveyed through the question. So brilliant job done with all these aspects. So coming to a couple of points which you could focus a little bit more on. Number one, as much as I commended that you had a good command over your voice and bringing in emotion, I felt there are places where you could have leveraged your voice in a better way. Say, for example, in the beginning, when you said something strange happened 6 months ago, it just felt a bit monotonous. You had it was straight like, okay, you are giving us an information. Rather, considering this is a storytelling project, if you had just told 6 months ago, something strange happened. Just a little pause there and an enunciation would have really brought out the drama in the story that you are telling. And number two, I noted there were a few places when your eyes were wandering here and there. So I understand it is an online setup, but if you could focus a bit more on whoever is on the screen, I'm not sure if you had two monitors with respect to the camera setup, but still, you can focus more on the camera lens and see how you can enable proper eye contact with the audience on the screen. And number three, your structure of the speech, originally you spoke about the encroachment. In between, you spoke about how the government is not that helpful. And last, you spoke about the tax issue that we are facing. So it is all centered around the government part, which is portion B, which you spoke about. So rather, if you could have just structured it in a way, part A, and then you just tell them, you segregate saying, I'm talking about a different issue, part B, and finally connect both of those and saying, hey, whatever happened in my building, whatever is happening with respect to tax, we are not satisfied right now. So that would have really brought a very wholesome view for your entire speech. So overall, I loved your writing and your usage of vocabulary. You had great picturization skills. You have a very good command over your voice. Just see how well you can leverage your voice in certain aspects where you can bring in the emotion well and your eye contact, and also make sure that how well your speech can be structured so that it is easier for navigating throughout. All the very best, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
With that great evaluation, let's follow it up with a couple of open evaluations. So anyone from the audience who listened to the speech can volunteer for a time of 1 minute. And ideally, your points should be excluding the points that are already discussed by the previous evaluators. Anyone would like to pitch in for open evaluation?
We are speechless today, Abhi.
Maybe
Toastmaster Alpana, would you like to do the open evaluation?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, Abhi, your speech, had a great start. You kind of engaged the audience in the beginning itself, asking them question and giving, painting picture, as Veera already mentioned, painting that picture, and we all were looking forward to what's coming next. And then you did drop us at a point where it made us think, yeah, these are the problems. This is something that I've also faced. I think Toastmaster Veera already mentioned that a little bit of voice modulation would have kind of given the storytelling a little more impact, and I felt, I'm not sure if that was the case, but I felt that a little more organization to the speech would have made this a little better in terms of, you had a lot of thoughts that came in, very logical thoughts were coming in, like, all the problems that are existing in the society, how it is impacting us, and all, but what exactly we should be doing, or maybe it's a storytelling project, right? If it's a project where you could just pass on the information, give us also that point as to how we can, from our point of view, how we can fix it, that would also have done the trick. But for storytelling, maybe weaving around a story, maybe, I'm just thinking out loud, you could have taken your own story as to, okay, this was one thing that happened in the day. The next time you went to an event somewhere and you saw something else happening. And then towards the end of the day, you went somewhere else, or you were doing something else with your family members, and you found some issue that you were facing. And then you weave it around one day's story. And towards the end, when you're sleeping on your bed, these are the thoughts that are lingering. And, that kind of a story around the entire information piece would have made it a little more intriguing, is what I felt. Now, I don't know, maybe that required a little more time in organizing the speech or weaving a story around it. because all the thoughts that you had were really provoking and all of us could relate, because in everyday life we face all of these situations. Just organizing and weaving it around a story, I think, would have done the trick. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else would like to try their hands on open evaluation? We have one last open evaluation left due to time constraint. If not, I'll go for rebuttal. Rebuttal 1, rebuttal 2, rebuttal 3. Let's do rebuttal Avi from Avi.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Veera and Toastmaster Alpana, for that constructive feedback. I do understand that I could have organized the structure of the speech in a much effective way. The objective of the speech of the project was to kind of have one story or can have multiple stories. So the thought that was in mind was to address one common problem that we all face from multiple stories that that I kind of shared that I have been observing in my life. So I think I would work on that. And of course, I do understand my weakness of the voice modulation. I'm pretty much self-aware of that weakness. Like Toastmaster Veera mentioned that 6 months back, something strange happened. I think that could have really that suspense on the audience. So I would definitely work on that. It's a work in process, to be honest. I hope to improve week on week on the voice modulation part as well. Overall, thank you. Nothing else to rebut from my side. Over to you, dear Modi.
With that, let us go to speaker number 2. Just a minute. Toastmaster Richa, can you send me the title?
I did send you on both the channels. You tried contacting me.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I thought you were you were responding to me. Okay, apologies. So Toastmaster Richa, हाँ भाई, Toastmaster Richa.
Thank you. I would take a pause and then start. A beautiful day, summer evening, 5 p.m. in somewhere year 1998. Mom comes out from the kitchen and everybody's sitting around the table. Dad is reading a newspaper. My grandmother was doing something on her own. I was studying. My brother was studying. And the other brother was preparing to go out somewhere. At that point, my mom comes out and says, "हाँ भाई, क्या बनेगा आज खाने में?" Roughly translates to, "Okay, all, what are we going to have for dinner? What do I make for dinner?" This statement was such a staple in our house that all of us, if we had to take a decision or initiate a discussion among the family members, we used to have this statement, "Haan bhai." And when it used to come to our screen, or rather to our consciousness, I would rather say, I'm very used to the virtual setup these days, but when it used to come into my ears and I was hearing whether my dad saying it, whether my mom saying it, whether my grandmother saying it, or if somebody else is saying it, automatically our brains used to get transformed into a way that we are supposed to have a discussion and come into that critical mode of thinking. My mom will ask this question followed by another question. "हाँ भाई, क्या बनेगा आज?" I will respond, "I want to eat curry rice." My mom will respond, "But you cannot eat curry in the evening. That is something you should eat in the morning. Otherwise you will have gas. That we cannot make." My brother will say, okay, let's make flour, cauliflower, cooker wala cauliflower. That means the delicacy that she was very, very good at making, and that was one of the staples in our house. Almost every third day we used to have cauliflower. My mom would be like, but there is no cauliflower in the house itself. My grandmother would be like, okay, let's make bottle gourd. My dad will respond, we have been eating bottle gourd for 3 times every single day for past 3 days. I'm not eating food if you're going to make bottle gourd. End of discussion. My mother will then ask, so kya banega fir? What should I make then? My dad will say, okay, if bottle gourd is already there, why can't we have a variation and we can make kofta? Kofta is a North Indian delicacy wherein you fry parts of bottle gourd along with the gram flour, and then you put it into gravy and make a rich gravy delicacy. And my mom would be like, it takes a lot of time and you already have cholesterol. We should not cook something which has got so much of oil in it. Then my father would ask, if that is the case, what are you going to make? And she would again throw the question at us, asking, tell me, what should I make? And my brother who has not answered yet, one of my brothers who has not answered yet, he would slightly lift his eyes up at mother and look at her with an intent and say, you already have decided what you want to make. Why are you even asking the question? You will only make dal or rice or anything like that, or chapatis to go along with rice. And I know you're going to make potato sabji because that is the only thing which is there in our house right now. Why are you even asking this question? Same used to happen with dad. If we were to have a vacation or a trip somewhere, my dad will come and ask, okay, so now we have a budget and we have a place to go. We should decide on a place to go. And I do have some time off. Where would you like to go? Ha bhai, kahan jana hai? That was a statement that used to come, roughly translate to, okay, all, where do you want to go for vacation? We would be like, okay, let's go to Jaipur. We've been to Jaipur so many times, we'll quit my mom. My brother would be like, okay, let's go to Ladakh. Oh, oxygen is very less, your grandmother cannot travel there. Then my other brother would be like, okay, let us go to Bhopal. My mom will be like, what is there to see in Bhopal? It is just city, a lake, and some jungles, which you already see in Chhattisgarh, Bilaspur. My grandmother will suggest, okay, let us go to Agra, our parental house. My father would be, I will not waste my holidays and budget on going to Agra. So these were some of the situations that used to happen in our house. And then finally, my father will come back and say to us, okay, we have this much budget. And now that you all have exhausted your chance to give me a place, I think we should go to Mumbai and we should, enjoy some time off with your aunt. And that would be done, and the tickets will be booked, and we would be traveling to Mumbai by the time the ticket date arrived. More often than not that I want to agree to, I have seen myself doing the same thing. Earlier, it used to happen that there was an illusion that we were a part of decision making, but actual decision was made already before the question was thrown at us. Ha bhai. This is how my parents manipulated all of us, and we got manipulated without knowing that it was a manipulation. And today's life, I get to see that our managers are manipulating the same way, leaders are manipulating us the same way. They promise us something, they ask for our opinion, but the decision always ends up being what they wanted it to be. It could be opposing to your opinion, or it could be supporting your opinion, which they already had in their mind. And I find myself doing the same thing more often than I would want to agree. When I want to have a promotion or find a candidate for promotion, I do ask and look at everybody and throw out a discussion point without them letting know that I'm doing this for the sake of promotion. I would ask for their achievements. I would ask for everything, but the decision is already made. There is very little that I can do. How many times do we feel that we are in a democratic setup, but we actually end up in being an autocratic setup, which also works well for some situations? Choice is ours, decision is all ours. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
All right. With that, let's go for evaluation. So let me call upon distinguished Toastmaster Bhupati to evaluate Toastmaster Richa's speech.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear VP Education, Richard, and Speaker of the Day. It was an interesting speech about your family, the high-buy culture, and then the way the people decide on things. So you brought it very nicely in terms of what happens in your house typically for a decision of making a decision of deciding one particular dish. Sometimes it all in corporate life also it happens, and you brought it out very nicely in terms of that particular example. So when I look at the objectives of this particular speech, whether the leadership style of you have brought it, probably it didn't bring that element of leadership style what you would have demonstrated. I was thinking, I was waiting. Finally, you took the call, but you told that the other way that your parents already decided and you communicated that. So that is where the element of suspense was there for almost all the time. But when that final decision was taken and final communication was done, so at that time I reflected, oh, this could have been better when any leadership style where you have taken a particular style, which where you identified, okay, this is what my style is. If that element was covered, this would have been better. Second, in terms of delivery, what I felt was you are always looking down on us, not literally. So you just you had the mic set up, or sorry, your camera set up in such a way that it was down for most of the time. So my request would be to keep at the high level, and where you will have better eye contact, as other speaker also was having some kind of a challenge, right? So where you have better eye contact and you will be in a position to connect with us very easily. And the variations you brought in your what do you call it, delivery was very good and apt for the speech. Whether could it have been done better? Yes, it could have been done better in terms of the excitement for what you may need in that dish. I need this dish, I need that cauliflower. So if your brother is excited about cauliflower, that cauliflower should have been as bloomy as this cauliflower. So that is how you could have brought some kind of an excitement in your voice. So that is the third element. In overall, when I look at it, the structure of the speech was done well. Only the alignment with the project objectives, I believe it could have been done better, so that you meet the project objectives and demonstrate your leadership style, how in any of your situation where you would have you identify yourself. I always believe in these words of Zig Ziglar. When you catch the glimpse of your potential, that is when your passion is born. When you catch the glimpse of your potential, that is when the passion is born. So what is your potential? Where did you identify your potential? In which situation you identified that potential? That element, if it is brought in, then it would have been much more easier to address the project needs, right? So that is all my take, and my best wishes to you, Speaker Richa, for the day. And I am sure that you will bring out so many leadership styles which you have demonstrated in our club at various point of time in your future speeches. All the best. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepak.
All right. With that, I would like to call for open evaluations. Anyone would like to try their hand at open evaluation?
I can go. I just have a quick couple of points. First of all, Toastmaster Richa, I really loved the story that you told, because right from the beginning, you were narrating a scene that is happening in your house and the different conversations you had. So that was very beautifully put, and it was very enriching with multiple characters in your speech, right? So that was so good. The only suggestion that I have is the hand gestures that you are using, right? Because most of the times I noted that your hands were like constrained within, and I know that we had to put up the background based on Deepak's request, but at least you could have removed it during your speech, because sometimes whenever you are taking your hands off, your hand gestures were getting cut off. And most of the times I felt your hand gestures were limited within, they were very constrained, and they were very, not very overly expressive. So you can try and use your hands as much as possible to ensure that the story is being narrated in a very natural way, because hands are very integral part of narrating something. And yeah, so that's the only thing I had. Otherwise, fantastic job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyone
Deepak?
else like to try their hand with open evaluations?
I wish everybody will say something, because as per Bhupati sir, definitely I'm going to repeat this same project again, because I also recognize that I should talk about my
Richa, we
style
will go for rebuttal.
rebuttal. Yeah, I know.
We'll surely
Right.
give you time for rebuttal.
Yes,
Let's try to pull more people for open evaluation. Anyone? Okay, I'll try my hand if no one else.
yes.
Yes. So, Toastmaster Richa, I'll evaluate your speech with the word bhai, B-H-A-I. B for bonding beginning. So, by beginning, I mean the speech title as well as beginning of your speech brings my thoughts towards where you want me to bring my thoughts in your speech. So, really well on that. H for highlighting the situations. For example, when you are having conflicting conversations, I can really, due to the words that you chose, I can really feel what you felt in those situations. And especially when you asked, how many times do we feel? These questions bring that relatability to your situations when I listen to your speech. So well done on that. I would like you to work on two things. A for analogy of characters. For example, you mentioned you have two brothers, but there was some confusion which one is saying what. So you are saying other brother. You could have either said younger brother and older brother, or you could have given them some names, which can be real names or imaginary names as well, if you don't want to reveal the real names. And you could have introduced them in short, that brother A, he is so and so, and brother B, his nature is so and so. And that could have brought clarity towards what characters are involved in which scene. I for imagery of transformation. So I felt what you can do is, after application of message of your speech, how did your life transform? How did you transform as a leader? If I could have got a glimpse of that, the conviction could have increased. Overall, a great speech with great beginning, highlighting of the situations and conversations. A little bit work on analogy of characters and imagery of transformation can help.
Thank you. Alpana, Aishwarya.
Alpana, you want to?
I think most of it is already covered. Frankly speaking, when most of the speech was over, I really could not figure out what the objective was. I did not really notice the objective. So towards the end, when you came to speak about the leadership styles, is when I kind of got to know that, okay, this is what the project was. Because the first half was very engaging. Like we were all, it was more like a storytelling project. We're all listening and thinking, okay, this is the story that's going on, and then what happens next? What is the final outcome of what gets cooked? Where do they go? All these questions were coming in the mind, and you did answer those questions. But yes, again, the same point. maybe a little bit more focus on what your leadership style is, maybe your journey. Maybe it could be through a family story, your career story, or whichever story you want to bring in, but it has to highlight a little more of your aspect of leadership. I think that's about it. Otherwise, I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you. Abhi?
Aishwarya, would you like to try?
Aishwarya.
Like almost everyone mentioned, I really enjoyed it. Both the stories were very intriguing, and even I was, and the transformation to how nowadays leaders work. That was kind of, I didn't expect that you were transforming like that. I was also thinking there'll be something else that you're coming to, and I just, the only thing I felt was maybe the camera. I just felt at times you were it felt as you were reading somewhere down. You like that. That could be improved. That's all.
Abhi?
Ravi, would you? Maybe he's filing his GST returns. Okay.
Pawan, please.
Yes, Richa, as Alpana said, it was engaging. I was also like you gave a gap while telling about the place that you wanted to visit. I was waiting for that, and you told about Mumbai, and finally after your speech is thought provoking, and it's like when we can't do anything, and if it is anything is decided, then what is there in our hand? What is there in our control? Understand the situation and take necessary action is what I understood. It's thought-provoking speech. That's what I could say. Thank you for delivering
Thank you,
this
sir.
speech.
Now let's hear from our speaker, Toastmaster Richa. Rebuttal.
Before I speak, I would want to hear from Pragya as well.
Yes, Pragya, would you like to shortly give feedback?
Actually, I liked it because I could relate with my home also. So it was nice, I felt.
Any improvement that I should make?
Yeah, that eye contact one, I also felt. Everything else is covered already. It was nice.
Okay.
Overall speech was nice.
Okay. Thank you. I'll take care of these feedbacks. So when it comes to rebuttal, I honestly have no rebuttals at all. I know what all places I need to improve and connect to the objective. Given my personal story, this was a preamble, I would say, part one of how my opinions were formed, or how we were, forced into thinking that we are making the decision, but actual decision makers were somebody who had autocratically taken the decision. It was not even bureaucratic. So decisions were already made. What we have in the house that was cooked, what we had budget for, or my father had a liking for, that place was chosen for vacation. But at the same point of time, we were asked for our opinion, which made us felt good. But we were a part of decision making, and we were making a decision, and that actually transformed me as a person. Wherein though I would have made a decision already, I still go ahead and ask people who are in my team about their opinion. But I do not take decision what I have already taken, but I should have highlighted that more. That was my style of making a decision. So I would focus on doing that. As far as technology is concerned, apologies for the camera and the cut up in the hands and other stuff, the imagery and everything. I'm good with my words, but not so much with the camera. So I'll take care of that next time. And I'll rather attempt the speech in front of everyone in person. So that would give me more confidence in my ability to dramatize the whole situation and give more hand gestures, more opinion, more volume control and tone tonality differences, because my brother would never say things very simple and plain. He was always jump into the conversation, cutting everybody off, and I wanted to showcase that, but highly, I would have to build a different stage altogether, different way of giving things altogether to enact that. But I will attempt at it next time, and I will take the same speech, transform it, include my journey as a leader, and then so I agree with all the feedbacks. I've written the whole page worth of feedback, plus this particular thing is recorded, so I'm going to have a review of all the feedbacks I'm given, and put them into the next speech I will attempt. Over to you, Toastmaster.
With that, our prepared speech and evaluation section is coming to an end. And what's next? Any guesses?
TTM, table topics?
No, if you look at the agenda, there's something special over there. Can everyone turn on their video if possible and if safe? I know some people are driving and some people are joining via phones. So if you can just turn on your camera and if possible, change your background to the coronation background, and I'll just show you a quick glimpse of what is coronation.
Yeah.
Just a minute, too many screens I have open. Oh, I forgot to share audio. Let me click that. Can you listen to the sound when I play it? I'll quickly play and pause.
No.
No? Ooh.
No.
Oh, because I muted the video. Just a
Your
minute.
sound anyways is in zero. Just increase
Yes.
the sound.
I muted it because it was. Now? Okay.
Yes.
All right, Coronation 2023 is our District 92 conference of the year. It's our annual conference and it is happening offline this time after a long time of virtual district conferences at Hilton, Bengaluru on 27th and 28th May. We have an amazing line of speakers, some of whom are already revealed. I'll quickly share the Insta link of Coronation. You can share it across and also follow it for updates, and I'll also present what has been already revealed by the PR team of Coronation. So we have an amazing line of speakers, starting from World Champion of Public Speaking 2017, Manoj Vasudevan. We'll also have Saksham Garg, who is editor of Samsara, which is a recent bestseller being compared with Harry Potter. It's being called Harry Potter of India. We have Mehak Mirza Prabhu, who is a storyteller, life coach, and scriptwriter. We have a stand-up comedy, which is exclusive for Fun Night, which is from Anmol Garg. He's the one you might have heard a lot of stand-up comedy or Insta videos related to office and corporate from. We have a performance from Prachi Kelkar, who is a music trainer and content creator. And we have a CEO, who is the CEO of Infosys BPM, Anantha, coming on Coronation. We'll have further reveals as well. And as the reveals go ahead, there can be price hikes, there can be ticket shortages. So I'll suggest go ahead and book your tickets now. And I hope I'll see you at Coronation in Hilton, Bangalore, 27-28 May. I'll share the registration link as well. Or you can find it on our Insta page bio. That way you will follow our Insta page as well. And before we end this, let us do this Coronation logo sign. How many of you know how to make it? Okay, cross your middle fingers. Cross them. And then join them with the other finger. No, not that finger, the finger next to it.
Index finger.
Index finger.
Index.
The
Index,
finger before
first
your
finger.
No, we won't stop trying. Abhi. Cross your middle fingers.
Yes.
And
now
then
the
your index fingers are the ones after your thumb, the ones neighboring your thumb. These. Okay, first make a inverted M like this.
You just make this first. V.
Yes.
Yeah.
V.
Now
Cross it.
Now cross your middle fingers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just connect it as it is. No, not to the opposite finger.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you are right. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Got
Got it. Who can
possibilities.
take a quick screenshot?
I can take a bit.
Or let me use the timing feature of snipping tool. Just a minute. I'll add delay of 1 second.
Done?
I think so.
Abhi's
Just a
infinity
minute.
is going somewhere else. Deepak, can you be quick?
Yeah, we can repeat for sure. Just a minute. Abhi, you are joining in the wrong direction. Yes.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to join with the neighboring fingers. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I'll make the delay 2 seconds. Yes, I got it.
Once more, I was missed.
Oh, okay, no worries. We can do one more.
Cheating.
Just be prepped. Okay, let me do it now. Okay, 2 seconds. Yep, got it.
By the way, when are we getting a ticket? People who have built, booked
You should
already.
have gotten an email stating thank you for registration. You did not?
Let me check 1 second.
Just check your email. You should have gotten one email stating thanks for registering, and tickets will be sent before the event. Don't worry. But an acknowledgement email for sure might have come to your inbox.
I will check.
Okay, with that, I'll announce this announcement for coronation closed, and I hope to see all of you there. I'll now call the table topics master without further ado. Otherwise, I'll be scolded for taking so much time off and not letting the table topics happen. It's none other than this person who is so jolly, so enthusiastic, a great orator. She's the person who told me, Deepak, your food looks really good. You should post it on Insta. And being a introvert with anxiety who doesn't want to be visible to the world, I said, no, it's not so good. I should not post it. Then she told me this one statement that you cannot believe the kind of things people are posting on Insta. You can surely post, yours will be much better. And then I remembered all the different recipes of chocolate Maggie and ice cream pani puri that I saw on Insta, and I got that confidence. So the confidence booster who will call upon the table topic speakers and also will select the table topics evaluator who will evaluate you for 1 minute. You will speak for 1 to 2 minutes on a speech. We have none other than our enthusiastic Toastmaster Alpana.
Yay! Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Deepak. Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you once again to the table topic segment. I am going to be your table topic master for today. And here I am going to give you some topics. So just for the benefit of guests, we have one guest present here. In this segment, both the guests and members can participate. So once members or guests volunteer, I as a table topic master will present a topic to you, and you are expected to speak on that topic for 1 to 2 minutes. The timer here is Pavan today, and he will show you the timings, 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes. You will show it 1, 1.5, and 2 minutes, right, Pavan? Okay. So your 1 minute, he will show green card, 1.5 minutes, he will show yellow card, and 2 minutes, he will show red card, which would mean that the time for you to speak is up, so you can wind up your speech. All right, so today I have some topics which I believe are fun topics to speak on. So let me see who all can volunteer. Yeah, the format is a little different here in terms of the fact that there'll be one speaker who will speak, and then there will be one evaluator who will evaluate the speech, and that evaluator is going to be my next speaker, who will be evaluated by a different evaluator. So that's the pattern that we're going to follow for table topics. So let's see who our first speaker for today is. Any volunteers for table topic? Volunteer for speaker and evaluator both. All right, since Toastmaster Veera switched on his video, let's have Toastmaster Veera. Veera as our first speaker. Who would like to evaluate Toastmaster Veera? Okay, if nobody is volunteering, then I'll pick and choose on my own. Toastmaster Aishwarya, would you like to evaluate Toastmaster Veera and then be our next speaker?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Let's see, what do we have as a topic for you? Okay. So Toastmaster Veera, the topic for you is, do you eat to live or do you live to eat, and why? Do you eat to live or live to eat, and why?
There is no doubt and no hesitation, and I am absolutely not even embarrassed to admit to the fact that I live to eat. Of course. Why? Because we all know as human beings, we are in this world to survive, and we have all of our means to do it. Of course, we will be fulfilling our body has its own way of digesting things, taking care of all those things, our metabolism. We can, just to satisfy that minimum level of hunger, whatever is needed, that would be taken care of, done. But we as evolving humans, when you compare with any other animals or any other organism in the entire world, we have that extra special sense where we taste, relish, and understand the different flavors of food. We have our own likes and dislikes. Those every single set of complexities that come in, and like how Toastmaster Deepak was mentioning today in the beginning, we have that balance in food. And God, we have tons and tons to relish in this entire world. Be it a vegetarian or non-vegetarian, being born in India, we have cuisines which range over right from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Every 100 kilometers you move ahead, you have a different dish to try. And I am so lucky that to have been in Bangalore for my work, because you name the cuisine, you have it here. And most of my free time that goes through reading through articles about what are all the new food outlets that have come in Bangalore, be it Swiggy or Zomato, all the restaurant awards. I am a full-time foodie. And yes, I am super proud to say, yes, I live to eat, because that is one thing which really fulfills not just our tummy, but also our soul. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Veera, with the enthusiasm with which you said that you live to eat. Felt like, yes, we all do, don't we? So many cuisines every 100 meters. Yeah, you are absolutely right. I think I could also relate to that very much. Okay, without getting into anything else about your speech, let's head on to the evaluator who's going to evaluate your speech. Toastmaster Aishwarya.
Toastmaster Veera, you're like a small electron, like you're so much full of energy and enthusiasm. Your hand gestures were on point. It was like there were there's nothing to improve. Like you're fully enthusiastic, and all your words just came from your heart. You're passionate about eating, about food. It was evident while you spoke, and your voice modulation was on point. So it was very well.
All right. So after that phenomenal take on food, I hope our mouths are not drooling and we are still in the meeting, not wanting to rush away to eat something. I have my next topic ready for Toastmaster Aishwarya, but before that, I would want to have a volunteer for evaluating Toastmaster Aishwarya, who would also be the next speaker. So I would want to ask Pragya if you want to attempt evaluating Toastmaster Aishwarya's speech and then take up another speech.
Yes, sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking that up. Okay, so Toastmaster Aishwarya, the topic for you is good food is foundation of true happiness. Good food is foundation of true happiness. Over to you.
Oftentimes I feel whenever we have good food, it just translates into good energy, good vibes, and it just feels positive. You just talk about it, you talk to people about it. Yeah, that day I just had good food in this joint and it is amazing, you need to have it. So we firstly become we just market the food that we had because we just loved it. So and whenever we don't like a particular food that we have, we were like, okay, and the entire energy goes down, and I think I need to have something better to just change my taste. It's always something which we often feel like. And no wonder we always say good food, the most joints and cafes have the caption of like good food, good vibes, saying about the same thing. And just like today's theme where Deepak just told about anybody can cook, we can all just think and feel like, what if we can make something so delicious, and it just feels time consuming, but it also feels rewarding when you eat something that you really make, and you really like it after that. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Aishwarya, for your take on good food. And I totally agree with you. A good food can be your mood lifter, and yes, the bad food will always have that lingering effect of, what good should I eat to make that better, make that better. So it's always so important that it has this quotient of relating to your mood and your happiness and the vibe that the food gives you. Now let's head to the evaluator for Toastmaster Aishwarya. Pragya, if you would go ahead with the evaluation.
Yeah. So I would like to say very nice speech, Aishwarya. You highlighted both the positive and negative, all kind of moods in your speech. That was very nice. And at the end, you gave one caption also, and you related to today's topic. That was, I felt it was very nice. And at the end, your expressions was very good. All type of emotions you were expressing through your emotions. That was nice. Yeah, that's all.
All right. Thank you very much, Pragya, for that quick evaluation. And now I would like to present a topic to you for speaking. And before that, let's find an evaluator for you. Who would want to go ahead and evaluate Pragya? Pawan, would you like to take it? Toastmaster Pawan? Or will it be difficult for you doing both the timer roles? And
No problem, Alpana. We'll take.
all right. All right, then let's see what we have for Pragya. Share your best food prep or eating experience. Share your best food prep or eating experience. Pragya.
So I'll like to start with the food that I like a lot. It is a mango shake actually. So mango being the favorite fruit for me, I prepare mango shake with all my heart, and I love how I prepare, and I like how it tastes when I prepare it. So just the right amount of milk, sweet, and dry fruits, and right taste of mango also. It is very important in mango shake. So yeah, it is the food, not exactly the food, but for me it's a drink that I love the most, and I like to prepare this. I enjoy actually how I prepare it. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Pragya, for attempting to speak. And also, your topic is right in season. Right now we have mangoes everywhere. And with you bringing that topic, it is such a simple dish, but you telling that the way you prepare it, you absolutely love it, made me really smile. Because, I always, whenever I prepare food, I'm not a good cook for that matter, but whenever I prepare food, I always tell what a yummy dish I prepared. You would always tell, you prepare,
Yeah, even if others doesn't like it, yeah.
But I like that attitude so much because I follow it through and through when I'm cooking. Thank you so much for bringing that and highlighting to us. Let's move on to your evaluator, Toastmaster Pawan.
After you spoke, I don't have anything new to add other than that. Whatever she said, Pragya, whatever you said about you prepare, you love it, and that was coming out of your speech. I feel I like your confidence, and yeah, you have nicely put. You took 44 seconds. If you would have took another 15 seconds, you would have completed. I would have shown green card. Means like that is the minimum limit for table topic speech. I request whenever you speak next time in table topic speech, extend your thought process as
Yeah, sure.
you have great ability to engage us. Uh, uh, thanks. Thank you, Pragya.
Okay,
Over
thank
to you,
you.
Alpana.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Pawan, for that great evaluation. And I would like to check with Deepak. Do we have time to take one more topic?
Let me see what was our agenda. Just a minute.
Sorry, Deepak, I could not hear you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
I think we do not now. We can go to linguist report and quickly close instead.
Okay.
But if the audience is fine, because
Okay, I don't know whether audience is okay for another speech or not. Let's not have an evaluator in that case. Pawan, quickly, the topic for you is what has been your worst food prep or eating experience? What has been your worst food prep or eating experience till date? Pawan.
I realized that nowadays that it's like my worst experience comes whenever my tummy is like whenever I'm eating, I'm after after my stomach is full. That's what I observed. I attended many marriages and many functions, and after that even after my tummy is full, and because of sometimes due to hesitation, or sometimes due to temptation to eat that dish, and instead of taking small quantity, if I take more quantity, and if I'm eating it, that's where I felt worst experience. Other than that, whenever I'm and I realize that whenever I'm hungry and I'm truly hungry and I'm eating, I'm enjoying any food. uh, that's what I realized. Other than that, no preferences, and wish is, any it's like I realize that stomach any food tastes good when my stomach is completely empty. So make sure to eat whenever you are hungry. uh, you will enjoy the food. Over to you, Alpana.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Pawan. So you were like, no hard feelings, any dish. Today I am in a good mood. So everything is nice when my tummy is hungry, and nothing is good when my tummy is full. You know, I've seen that with kids mostly, at least with my son. I've noticed that even if it's his favorite food, you give him and his tummy is full, and like, no, I don't want. And I'm like, oh my God, we as adults, we cannot do this. If you find something that you really, really love, even if you're full, you would want to take one spoonful of it. But you absolutely bang on. The takeaway for me was like an enlightenment today. Eat when you are hungry. I will take that back. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pawan. With so much of food conversations during the table topic segment, I had my fair share of want and need of food after this meeting. I am sure you all are also awaiting the same. So I will now hand over the screen to our linguist for linguist report. Deepak, I just stole away your segment and directly giving over to the linguist. Over to you, Toastmaster Aishwarya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alpana, for the amazing Toastmaster table topic session. And to start with the linguist report, I would start with the theme of the day. Anybody can cook. That was a brilliant take with words, and also to give out the meaning of making, and the way Deepak just showed all the PPT and showed us that it's not a very difficult task. You just have to put your mind into it. And then going on to Abhi's speech, which is brilliant. His use of some words like mere lip service, those were amazing. And the way how he put GST acronyms like get, set, and try, God save them, those were brilliant. Also, the imagery that he used in a speech to describe the lake in the start, that just build a beautiful picture in all of our minds. I would also like to comment on Richa's speech, the way she used words to describe her family in the start, how they were all sitting. She was studying, and she just painted a picture of of a family in our minds, so that we could relate to. Mm, and I would also like to comment on the quote that Toastmaster Alpana used, the want and need of food, in the end, to conclude her table topic session, and with the also aligning to the theme of the entire session of today. It was brilliant. That's all.
Right. With that, let me just quickly, I'll take 2 minutes, not much. I know Toastmaster Alpana and Richa will be angry on me later, but I'm fine with that. Okay. So one thing I want to show is, if you look at these recipes, you'll notice a lot of the ingredients repeat. Gram flour, besan is repeated, oil is repeated, green chili is repeated, ginger is repeated. And if you see, these all are the things that you can easily find in any Indian kitchen. All right. In some of the recipes, you will see, okay, they are asking you should have onion seeds, you should have sesame seeds. If you don't have them, that's fine. Make with what you have. It will still come out fine. Now, how would this look? Is something like this. You don't need to have paneer in your fridge. If you have it, you can make a paneer curry. I'll come to that as well. You just need besan, gram flour, curd, and basic spices to get this done. Okay. Now this is a paneer curry called as tawa paneer. I'll not give you the exact recipe of this because I want you to start how I started. Okay. Call the person you know who cooks well. Look at YouTube videos and just get started with it. So this is called tawa paneer. It's again a simple dish. You put all the ingredients into a tawa, fry them, then let them cool, grind them. That's your gravy base. Then you put oil, onion, some spices, let it fry a bit, put the gravy, add in the paneer, and then garnish it with coriander and grated paneer. That's one speciality of this dish. You don't just have the paneer or cottage cheese pieces. You also grate some of it. It brings in extra flavor. Okay. Next, I'll just, this is my last slide. What is this?
Kofta.
Kofta
You had
of what?
posted it yesterday.
This is a kofte ki sabji and roti, right?
Of what? Kofta of what?
Lauki ka kofta,
Okay. Any other guesses?
Kela.
torai kheera.
This is fried chicken.
No.
Chicken ka
I
kofta.
am non-vegetarian, but this is not fried chicken.
Chicken ka kofta.
Okay, so I was just confusing all of you. The left one is kofta of soya granules, and the right one is kofta of lauki. So if you need kofta, you can make it with various vegetables. If you need a stuffed vegetable, I gave you recipe of tomato, but there is stuffed brinjal, there is stuffed, so many stuffed recipes you will see. Stuffed green chili, stuffed capsicum, and the basics is same. You have a stuffing, you have a cover for it, you marinate the cover, you put the stuffing in. Sometimes you fry the piece, sometimes you poach or boil it, and it comes out real well. And these small changes, right, whether it's a soya kofta or a lauki kofta, bring out a lot of differences in flavors, even though they might look similar.
Abhi is going to make chicken ka kofta. I know that. Now he's got the idea.
So what
He's going to
I'll
do the
suggest is
recipe and
start
make
up.
chicken ka kofta.
I started with some simple recipes, right? You just take two mixtures, you steam one and you use other for gravy. And then I went towards koftas.
We'll do
So
a potluck, Deepak.
Huh?
We'll do
Potluck? We had a potluck.
Oh, we had a potluck, is it? Oh, I missed it.
Yes, you missed it.
I'll get rotis and puris, huh? You get all the curries.
Okay, done. So we had a potluck, and I had gotten from my end, what was it? chana paneer, I think. Chana paneer or chole paneer.
Oh,
So it's a gravy which has both paneer and chole.
Abhi's like,
Can have
खाना दोगे
potluck
तो बस
meeting.
बोलोगे.
Okay.
So much
With
food
that,
I need to eat.
with that, I would like to go to presiding officer, who is none other than a really great cook 10 years later, not today, none other than myself. And what a luscious, flavorful meeting, great prepared speeches, evaluations, engaging table topics. I enjoyed it a lot. Let's hear it from our guest, Pragya, if you would like to give how you felt in the meeting, what we can improve upon, and
Improvement, it is already perfect. I would not say for the improvement. So I liked how Alpna conducted the table topics. It was very encouraging, and yeah, overall meeting was very nice. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I hope you are in our guest group already.
Yeah, I'm already in that group.
Okay, there is a guest feedback form as well. Let me post it here so that you can also fill in the feedback in writing. Oh, sorry, this is, oh, it's the correct link. Apologies. Yeah. So I would request you to also fill our guest feedback form, and I hope to see you in the next meeting as well. We are probably having 3 speeches in the next meeting. It will be kind of a speech marathon, and I hope you enjoy the open evaluations and you become part of open evaluations as well
Yeah.
in coming meetings.
Yes.
With that, I
Sure.
call upon the Sergeant at Arms, who is staring at me thinking why this person is making the meeting almost 15-20 minutes delayed. I need to go for lunch. I'll call upon our Toastmaster Avi.
Yeah, finally the time has arrived. The time to be in the present, which is Abhi now, and I would officially close the meeting, right? Presiding officer.
Yes.
I officially close the meeting. See you next Saturday in the speech marathon. And